Welcome everyone to Scottsdale Cigar Club. I'm Brad Burko, and I have the pleasure of being joined today by my good friend in the cigar industry for probably 15 or so years, Mr. Tom Pupillo from Trendsetters Marketing. Tom, welcome.
Thank you, Brad, for having me.
And Tom represents several different brands that we carry here at Scottsdale Cigar Club, including our leading brand, Perdomo Cigars.
Yeah, I know you've been a big fan of Perdomos for many years now, Brad, and for those of you who don't know, it's owned by a gentleman named Nick Perdomo. It's a solely owned business. It's not a giant corporation like some other folks out there. It's a self-contained operation. By that I mean that Nick not only grows his own tobacco, he also manufactures his own boxes, his own cellophane, his own hardware. Everything is self-contained in Esteli, Nicaragua. Matter of fact, the name for Nick's factory is called El Monstro, which means the monster in Spanish. Employs about 700 people currently there, and includes farmers, rollers, warehousemen, box makers, and matter of fact, he's just expanding a little bit more down there, adding another 15,000 square foot pre-industry building. So always something exciting coming from Perdomo. Has something for every palate out there and every price point. Whether you want something inexpensive in a bundle, you have it. If you want something high-end like a Silvio or Patriarch, you have that too. And usually most of Nick's blends come in 3 different wrappers, either Corojo, Maduro, or Connecticut. Those are the typical wrappers that Nick uses. So I'm glad that you are doing so well with Perdomo, and people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, and the pricing is moderately priced or modestly priced at for a very good quality cigar.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's why it does so well.
Right.
Matter of fact, Nick was one of the first ones to fight the big tax people in Washington when they raised the prices about 2 years ago. Nick lowered the prices on 3 of his best brands.
Right.
To help diffuse that.
And I know you have several other brands, including the Gran Habano, which does very well for us here.
Yeah, Gran Habano is another family-owned company, father and son, George Rico the son, and Guillermo Rico the father. They're based out of Honduras, but they have farms in 5 different countries. So typically their cigars will be a blend of one of those or multiple of those countries. Sometimes even Panama, Costa Rica, even grow in Colombia. So it's pretty incredible. And they make some great blends. Another cigar that's value-priced cigar. I know you do very well with it here. The best-selling cigar in the line is what they call the number 5 Corojo in the Gran Habano line. It does really well. It comes from a little, what we call a lunch break size, which is a 4x40, all the way up to what we call the Czar, which is a 6x66. So something for everybody. Some people don't like big ring gauges, but if you do, we have them.
Yeah, they have something for everyone. Another great cigar that we do very well with is one of the hottest brands in the business for the past few years, Tatuaje.
Tatuaje, owned by a gentleman named Pete Johnson. All the cigars are manufactured by Don Pepin Garcia. For those of you in the cigar world, know that name very well. Pete was one of the first people to use Don Pepin for a private label. Tatuaje means tattoo in Spanish. And if you ever saw Pete Johnson, you'll know what that means, because he's covered from sleeve to sleeve.
Right.
Great cigars, made in Nicaragua and Miami. The brown labels are made in Miami, and some of the other labels are made in Nicaragua. Very good cigars, very spicy, very aromatic, just great cigars. Always get great ratings.
Right, and I like to refer to Don Pepin as the rock star of the cigar world.
Yeah, he's very popular. Matter of fact, some of the major manufacturers are using Don Pepin for some of their blends as well now.
Right, and now the switch from the new cigar brand like a Tatuaje to a brand that's been around for a long time, Fonseca cigars.
Yeah, Fonseca has been around a long time, since 1974, out of the Dominican Republic, owned by a gentleman named Manuel Quesada, and I emphasize the word gentleman, one of the nicest people in the industry. He has more tobacco than I've ever seen in my life. Right? It's just fantastic, the amounts of tobacco that he has down there. And most people associate Fonseca with the Fonseca Classic, the 550s, which are the Robusto, right, and those sizes, which are typically mild cigars. But there's a whole multitude of cigars, including the Cubano Limitado, which is a fantastic Honduran wrapper on there, and the award-winning Casa Magna. The Casa Magna won the 2008 Cigar of the Year in Cigar Aficionado, also was in the top 25 in 2009, and just currently in the 2010. So 3 years in a row it's been in the top 25, and the most expensive cigar in the line, which is a big Extraordinario, a big boy, is about $8. I
Right.
mean, the Robusto sells for less than $6.
Yeah, we sell the Robusto here for $5.50, the #1 ranked cigar by Cigar Aficionado in 2008. Well, Tom, thank you very much for joining us here at Scottsdale Cigar Club, and we look forward to seeing you many more times in the future.
Thank you. My pleasure, Brett.